Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm going to review The Beekeeper. So The Beekeeper is the newest film from David Ayers and Jason Statham, and it tells the story of this secret agent that's involved in this beekeeper operation who ends up taking down a criminal syndicate that is victimizing elderly people and people that are disenfranchised and stealing their information and stealing all their bank accounts. So kind of stories we've seen in the news lately. It's fully aware of how ridiculous it is, and I do think when it leans into kind of these superhero-esque feats by our main character, the Beekeeper, I think it's a lot of fun. It has elements of John Wick and other action movies we've seen where we kind of have this unstoppable force taking out, tens if not hundreds of people throughout the course of this film without being able to be stopped in any possible way. So it is very ridiculous and has some kind of wild over-the-top kills and wild over-the-top combat, which I found really enjoyable. If you go for it for like a realistic or any kind of grounded story, or even kind of having the technical prowess of a John Wick, you might be a little disappointed, but if you're going into it kind of a fun popcorn action film, it's worth checking out. Jason Statham gives kind of his standard performance as a very stoic and gruff individual. He's good at doing it, so it's understandable why he continues to do it, but it's something that's really going to blow you out of the water performance-wise, but he is a character you're rooting for because he is taking down these horrible bad guys. Josh Hutcherson plays our main villain in this film, and he definitely is playing a character that is very unlikable. He's kind of a Weasley, little whiny bad guy who thinks he's a tough dude, never really does anything, and you really want him to be taken out by the end of the film. So I think he does a good job of playing that kind of character. These characters are kind of your cookie cutter, stereotype type villains and heroes, but like I said, it's kind of like a fun popcorn film. There is a twist in this film, without going into any spoilers, that I feel like is kind of ridiculous, and by the end of the story I don't think it's a necessary twist. We were already rooting for this character to take down the bad guys. We didn't need this extra element of kind of political espionage that gets thrown into it, so I didn't really fully enjoy that. It didn't really feel like it elevated the film at all, maybe kind of stretched it out a little bit longer. I don't think the movie's slow or boring by any stretch of the imagination, but I will say that the pacing of it does feel like it gets a little bit much by the end of the film. There's a lot of just constant action, and I felt like we could have cut out that entire storyline and just had something else happen to take out our bad guy. There are some side characters that feel a little bit unnecessary. There's a whole storyline involving the FBI that's moving along with the Beekeeper, trying to take him out while trying to unravel this mystery at the same time, and it doesn't really feel like they really have anything to do. They feel like they're kind of just a plot device that's moving along to maybe give you a little bit of explanation, give you a little bit of exposition at times to help you as the audience understand maybe the lore of the Beekeepers or who these bad guys are specifically. So it doesn't feel like they have enough to do. It feels like there could have been a more interesting story, a more emotion thrown into one of the characters in particular. We have an FBI agent that is the daughter of a woman who is scammed by these people and ends up killing themselves. And she has a vendetta against these people, but also trying to take down the Beekeeper because for, justice reasons, we can't have a vigilante go around just killing random people. So she has to come to grips with that, and it never feels like it fully, takes on that theme. It is sprinkled throughout. We do get an ending involving it, but it feels like we could have dove into that just a little bit more. But if you're coming to this movie for action like I was, it's definitely there. It's a fun film worth checking out. So if I were to rate it, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's a perfectly fun action movie that isn't really breaking the mold. It's kind of doing what it knows it's doing, and its audience is definitely there for it. So if you end up checking it out, let me know what you thought about it. Did you like it more? Did you like it less? I always love to hear people's opinions, specifically with like these kinds of movies, because I think if you're a fan of them, you go into it and you enjoy it, but if you're expecting any kind of elevated film, you might think it's pretty bad. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.